Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome. Welcome to the market close. We got another one of these bonus Friday ones. Well, this is your gateway to the weekend. In about 15 minutes, the markets will be closed, and well, then we got a good weekend to enjoy for sure. So, what is going on in the market today? It's green, not by much, not by much, and I'm gonna pull up. I'm gonna pull it up right away. We're just gonna jump right on in. As you can see, mostly flat day. We did have a little bit of a peak earlier, but for the most part, fairly flat, staying on the green side. I'm okay with that. We are doing good for the month. You can see, we get this blue line down here. That is where we left August. And this is, well, we're well above it. So at this point, with not many days left in the month, we can call September green. We can call it. We can call it because without a black swan event, there's no way we're going below that blue line. So green month in September, I'm calling it. I'm calling it. All right. We're up right now 0.09%. Same kind of story. Actually, they're doing a little bit better on the southern side of the border. The S&P 500 up almost a full, well, actually just over a full half percentage, up 0.53. They're also. I'm gonna call I'll tell you right now. I'm calling a green month for every single one, well above the blue line, looking strong. Not much time left in September. NASDAQ, same thing, up 0.38%. Also having a pretty good day. Dow Jones is starting to creep down a little bit towards the end of the day, but they're still doing good. They're still doing good. And the Russell, oh, those little guys, the little caps are doing fine because the blue line, there it is down there. So yeah, we're going to see all of the major markets. We're definitely looking at a green September. I feel this is like one of those election calls, although if it were an election call, the CBC would have called it 5 minutes into September. It's a green month, guys. I don't know. It's fine. It's fine. Gold today. Gold's having a bit of a rebound, up 0.52%. Although, look at this. In that last hour, we got ourselves a pretty strong red candle. So gold is retreating at the end of the day. Silver's up a full 2%. Oil's up 0.5%. Well, once again, look at this, 0.5%. But the second half of this day has been a downswing. So we're gonna have to see. We're gonna have to see see what happens to it over the weekend. Bitcoin, pretty flat for Bitcoin. They're only up 0.07%. Once again, they were up a little higher. They've come down a little bit in the afternoon. Ethereum up 3.51%. Okay, guys, let's attempt. Yeah, here we go. Here's our heat map. We're just gonna pull this up here, and as you can see, we got a bit of a mixed bag. We got some red and we got some green, and then we got a lot of companies that are just pretty much flat. So the banks, I would call the banks mostly flat. Like, look at this. Royal Bank is down 0.01. TD is up 0.56. BMO, probably the best of the bunch. They're up 0.94% today. Non-energy minerals, they're starting to, some of them are doing good. Like London Gold up 3.29%. AEM up 2.24%. Now, some of our Canadian tech, it's certainly taking a hit. So, all good. Constellation Software down a 4.16. Now, obviously, there's a lot going on with Constellation Software, including they've just lost their CEO. He is stepping down, and he's kind of like the Santa Claus of technology in Canada. And if you actually looked at him and seen what he looked like, actually, you know what? I have a picture, guys. We are gonna. This is a picture from the weekend. We're going to use this. Whoa, what has happened here? I went full screen. I'm not supposed to go full screen here. I'm supposed to be going here. There we are. I'll show you. This is him. This is the guy right there. This is Leonard. He is the CEO of Constellation Software. He's the guy that built that company, who turned it into the juggernaut that it is. And, it's going to be sad to see him go. Now, he is stepping down for health reasons. So we'll talk more about him on the weekend. All right, let's get ourselves back to where we were. Over here. Oh, yeah, we were back here. We're back here. There we go. So, as I was saying, yeah, Constellation Software, a lot of investors are kind of like, well, how are they going to survive without Leonard? So that is certainly helping to some of the woes that Constellation Software has had this year. Luckily to say, I think it's a good company. He knows what he's doing. I think his transition team will be absolutely fine. So I think Constellation Software will be fine on the long term. I did do a deep dive, guys. If you haven't seen it, there is a deep dive out there today on Constellation Software. All right. CNR doing good. CP not so much. Heading south of the border. And we got an interesting story here. We got Tesla. Tesla is on the rise today, up 3.67%. And I know Paul mentioned to me earlier that he had jumped on some Tesla today. So not too shabby. Apple's down. NVIDIA down just a wee bit. Microsoft's up a wee bit. Nothing huge. I guess Costco's down like 2.66%. Looking at crypto. Crypto pretty flat. Bitcoin technically in the down right now, negative 0.28. Ethereum up almost, 2.5%. So, oh boy. And this is that part of the show, guys. I like to go pick a random coin, the opposite color of Bitcoin. And Bitcoin is red, so we will pick a green coin. Some coin I've never heard of. There's like 15,000 of these coins or more. I wouldn't even be surprised if that number's closer to 16,000 by now. There's new ones popping up all the time. Let's grab this one. What is this? Bombi. What a name. It's like an explosive Barbie called Bombi. I don't know what this does. I'm going to guess it's related to some kind of game. That's the vibe I'm getting right now. But yeah, it's worth like 9/100ths of a penny. In other words, it's not worth much. I will never get involved in this one. This is like the one that if you tell your friends on social media you bought, you end up getting some government officials starting to watch you. You end up on a watch list. So yeah, this is one I'll definitely never touch. There is so many of these coins. I call them crap coins because quite honestly, it's like going to the craps table. You're probably going to lose. There is a lot of money. There's a lot of money in crypto, but not in Bombi. Stick to your Bitcoins, your Ethereums, your XRP, and gosh darn it, even the Dogecoin. So what can I say? All right, guys, let's see what's going on here. And I need to pull up the comments. All right, let's see here. Oh boy, I got a frog there. I'm having pumpkin spiced coffee today, so it's exceptionally good. I might go to the coffee more often than normal. It's so good. Claude says, hello, Topicus is going down, so not great on this part. Yes, now Topicus, of course, Topicus.com, they were spun out from Constellation Software. So I imagine some of the troubles that Constellation is having right now, it's certainly spilling over to Topicus as well. All right. Tim said, bought the dip yesterday on MSTE at $11.50, up over $12 right now. That's not too shabby. It's not too shabby at all. We'll have to see. Now, I imagine Larry's going to pop in a little later to throw some party pooping onto the Tesla, but we'll see. Paul says, good afternoon. Green and Tesla, others trying to go up after the whatever the new inflation number was today. So the big number today was a revised GDP down there in the States. Instead of, I think last quarter they had it at 3.3. They revised it up to 3.8. Now, if you love rate cuts, that may not be good news. So I'm going to talk a little bit more about that on the weekend as well. Rory says, hi all. Candace, I missed HOD by 8 cents today. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Let's see. Claude says, I'm calling. Candace will forget the bell. Not today. Not today. We got about 4.5 minutes. 4.5 minutes to the bell. I'm gonna get it. I'm gonna get it on time. I think I've missed. I'm very good at missing it. I used to be always on the clock, but lately I've been very good at missing it. But that's because you guys ask great questions, and I get set off on tangents, and then I miss the bell. So no tangents until after the bell. Paul says, Candace calling on Audible on a green month. There we go. Absolutely. Green months for everybody. Happy a green higher close on the TSLA weekly. Nice. Roy says, parliamentary budget officer calls the Liberal spending unsustainable. Yeah, there's a lot of money being spent. And here's the thing. I'm okay with spending if, in the situation that we're in, if it's being used correctly. I want accountability. That's what I want to see. So if it's going into infrastructure, that's going to turn around and make us a lot more money in the future, okay, I'm fine with that. But if that money is being spent on stupid stuff, then oh boy, that I'm not fine with. I'm not fine with that at all. Rory says, CSU on the ropes. It's not as bad as you think, but yeah, they are on the ropes for sure. Scratch says, hello, Candace. I hope you had a great week. Not too shabby. Not too shabby. We got 3 minutes left to the bell. I'm keeping track. Let's see. Thanks for these videos, Candace. Great work. Red finger number 1. Okay. Oh, I think that might be an emoticon. For some reason, guys, I'm looking at your comments through StreamYard, and I don't know what it is, but it doesn't bring the images across. So, like, for example, when you do a super sticker, that's why over here, I have my YouTube over here on the side. I can pull it up so I can see what the super sticker is. All it'll show me it'll show me the green. It just won't show me the little picture on it. So it's like, hey, did I get the coffee, or did I get the thumbs up, or did I get the one that I don't know what it is? I don't know. So yeah, I gotta check. All right. Scratches, platinum and silver look so good. Yeah, I mean, metals today having a pretty good day right across the board. All right, and Actaz says, yeah, BK and FTN stock splits today. So yeah, so BK, of course, that's one of those split cores. That's the one that does the banks. I do like BK a lot. But yeah, there's been some split cores. There's been some stock splits at the split cores. A whole bunch of splitting going on, I guess, but that's pretty cool. Rory bought XEQT yesterday. Anna says, hi, Candace. What do you think about ECHI? That's a good question. I'm looking at the clock to see if I have enough time to pull it up, but yeah, we're gonna. I will try not to get distracted here. Let's see here. Oh boy. Whoops, ECHI. Here we go. All right. So ECHI, this is of course 9 point. We're talking about 9 point. And here's the thing about this 9 point. They're new to ETFs. They're not new to ETFs. They've been around for a while, but they are new to the covered call game. But I am liking everything I've seen so far, and I think they might be the real deal. I said that in the last the last live. I do think they might be the real deal, which is fantastic. Am I ready to jump in? Not quite so, but I wouldn't blame you. I think you're fine if you want to. Right now, I like the offerings that I currently have. But I am watching these. I'm watching them with a lot of interest. And I know we got 20 seconds left to the bell. I'm going to bring up the big screen here, and I'm grabbing the bell because we got 8 seconds. I got the bell here. It's going to be a little loud, guys, so turn the volume down if you are sensitive to sounds. But here we go. And the market's closed. Welcome. Welcome to the weekend. It's here. Do you guys have any plans for the weekend? I mean, I got some plans. I have some plans. So, you might have seen a post I put out a little bit earlier today. So, this week is changing again. Like before, but give you the history of this week because it's kind of interesting. So, the Saturday live stream started 4 years ago. And it was, back then it was called Saturday Night Live Stream. So it used to be on Saturday nights. I used to have a guest on every single week. And then I kind of moved away from that. And I was kind of like, it's not that I was lazy trying to find guests. It was more or less that I kind of wanted to move into a little bit of commentary and a little more me and you guys, for the most part. And I kind of like that solo format. Like we've got right now, I'm starting to bring people back when it comes to this week conversations. So what am I changing? Well, here's the thing. You guys, if you guys have been on the weekend show, we get the first news story done, and then an hour later, we might do the second. And then sometimes we get the rest of them all jammed up at the end. Well, that kind of sucks. It kind of sucks. It doesn't, I mean, I don't care one way or another. I have the information, I get it out each week. Cool. But where it sucks is if you're a person who's tuning in because you just want to hear my take on the news. Maybe you don't want to sit through 3 hours trying to piece together all the pieces of the news. So I had a thought. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take all the news. So at the very beginning of the show, I'm going to put all that news into a monologue. So maybe it'll be somewhere between 5 and 10 minutes. So that will be how we start off this week. Then the rest of the show is all us. You and me talking, me answering questions. We'll talk, wherever you guys want to take it. That's where we're going to go. But here's the beautiful thing. If you miss the show and you're like, gosh, I just don't have 3 hours. But I am interested in the news. Well, you can either just watch the live in the beginning or... And this is what I'm thinking about doing. Because I put the monologue at the beginning as its own little piece, I can clip that and drop it as a video, like maybe on Monday or even Sunday night. We'll see how long it takes to do that. But I can do that, and then we have just like a news segment. So anytime that you don't have time for the chat and all of that, you can always just catch the news segment. And that'll be in the monologue that I can release separately. So that's kind of what I was thinking. And it's kind of like a bonus video. However, if you are here for the live stream, and many of you are, if you watch the monologue, heck, I'd be happy if you did because that's more views. But you probably might want to skip it just because it's going to be the exact same thing. Other than, no, not really. There won't be very much difference at all. Other than I might throw the equalizer on it, clean it up a little bit. But other than that, yeah, it's going to be the same thing. Danielle, I got the bell. I was to the second today. To the second. So what can I say? Rusty Pot Brewer says, hi all. What are your thoughts on STCU? Let's take a look. It almost sounds like a university. Yeah, I studied at STCU. What would that stand for? Let's see. The Southern Technology Community University. I don't know. I'm trying to come up. So STCU, they are, and I'll grab this one down here. They are into copper. So that's what the C stands for. Cu, of course, is the atomic symbol for copper. In case you didn't know, on the periodic table of the elements. In this case, we got Star Copper Corp Com. All right. Now, I've not really looked a lot at this particular one because, as you guys know, I have Mary in the Mari. That's the one I like. But this is another one, and I think there's going to be a lot of these copper companies that graduate from penny stock as we move forward because they are anticipating a copper shortage. Now, this one here, as you can see, it was a penny stock. September 24th, it was a penny stock. It's now worth $1.34. So it's had a good day, up 14.78%. Holy banana bread. That's not too shabby. But here's the thing. Here's the thing. I'm gonna just jump into the key data for a second here with this one here. Um, they're still they're still fairly new. They're still not profitable. So that's my one reservation with this one. So take a look at this. The return on equity, negative 66.61%. Now, let me be 100% fair to STCU. That number is calculated from their last quarterly report. So any positivity that's been happening to copper in the last month is more than likely not reflected in that number. I suspect that number will get better. I don't know. I do not know if it will get into the positive, but it won't be so deep into the negative for sure. So, yeah, these are the type of companies, even though I know I'm very, very, very bullish on copper, this is still a company that I wouldn't put a lot in, but I'm not saying I wouldn't put nothing in it either. I would definitely throw a little bit in. But there are definitely some good copper companies out there, and I think copper is a resource that you should definitely be watching. Merle says, "Hi, missed you in Blossom events." Yes, I was not. I was not in Toronto on the weekend, but my mod JJ was there, and JJ, of course, has a channel now of his own. I don't know if he's got a first video up yet or not, but I'll have to check. I've followed him. I subscribed, and I don't know if I turned the bell on or not. That's a good question. I'll have to check that later. But yeah, so yeah, JJ was there, so maybe you got a chance to meet JJ. Hopefully, you got a chance to meet some of some of your favorites, because I know. Let me see. The Plain Bagel. He was there, and he's someone I'd love to have sit down and have a conversation with the Plain Bagel. He is somebody I would love to have in in our conversations. Now, I don't know if he'll do it, but I will reach out to him eventually for sure, because I find the Plain Bagel a very informative for sure. Cowboy is in the house. Greetings all. Paul says, yesterday morning I sold my crypto stocks, and I got to keep remembering to bring back me while we're just reading stuff here for you. Let's see. Yesterday morning I sold my crypto stocks for Tesla between 423 to 425. Those crypto stocks are not up today or hardly up. And Tesla's up, so you made a good move. And Cowboy, yes, BK and FTM with their share split. So absolutely. Mr. B is in the house. What's going on with BB? And of course, BB, BlackBerry. Let's pull BlackBerry up here. Give me a second here. Now, I am bullish long-term on BlackBerry. I will tell you that right now. And here we go. Here is BlackBerry. So they're up 6.49% today. So that's not too shabby. And I'm going to pull up the last year of BlackBerry. All right, so we had this big hike up here. Now, this hike here was because of Google announcing Willow. So Willow is a quantum chip. So quantum chips, of course, they're basically what we need for quantum computers. They don't run things in with a regular analog computer. It's basically yes or no. Everything is either a 0 or a 1. It's an on or an off. Once you bring quantum mechanics into it, they, instead of using bits, they use something called qubits, and it can be more than one position. It can be on, it can be off, or it can be partially on, partially off, or both at the same time. There's a lot that it can be, but what it does is it really enhances the ability and speed of computers. Like, it's night and day compared to where computers are now, compared to what quantum computing will be like. So when that happened, we had this big explosion here in BlackBerry. And you guys know, I always say when you get one of these news, and this is a buy the news, after the news is done, this is what happened. It retreats. Now you'll notice, and this is an important point, you'll notice here. So it retreated to about 4.26. Before the news, it was about 3.34. So it still did fantastic. Absolutely. Even though you might look at this and say, holy, that sucks. Look at that drop. Well, yeah, but look at where they leveled out compared to where they were going in. That's always that important thing when news comes along. And the same idea. They had a bit more, there's a bit more news. I can't remember exactly what this was, but, a bit more excitement. And once again, they level out here. And we're having the exact same thing again. A little bit more excitement, and we're in the midst of it. And this is going to level out. And I bet you, you noticed last time it was around 513. I wouldn't be surprised if it levels out like maybe 540, 550 in that area. But going back to BlackBerry well, I guess we're not saying going back. We're already in BlackBerry, but going back to the big picture, I think BlackBerry is going to do really well over the long term. Their quantum security stuff is going to be huge, and of course they also got all of their Internet of Things as well in there. And I think BlackBerry's made a lot of great moves, and I'm calling it. They're relevant again. BlackBerry is relevant. They're not going to, and let's temper your expectations as well, because I just pumped you with a whole bunch of hopium. And I want to be clear that this isn't going to happen overnight. That's what long-term means. But I will tell you right now, I bet you 10 years from now, you'll look at the price of BlackBerry and you'll sure wish you could have got it when it was like $5, $6. You'll really wish you could have bought some. So that's my view on BlackBerry. All right. It's been hot dog. That's an interesting name. I like it. If Carney cancels the remaining 82 F-35s from Lockheed, what will be the consequences? Right now, here's the thing. Carney has put this commitment out that we have to hit the NATO targets this year. So that would be a really dumb move to cancel those. Because if you cancel them, you're going to have to, we still have to get some of the other money. Now, the problem is, too, when we look at the military as a whole, it's not just equipment. There's a lot of issues with personnel. And here's another kind of an interesting thing, too. I was actually watching something. I think it was on the CBC. Forgive me. But they were talking about one of the issues they have is that new recruits, a lot of them are just walking away because their training just never happens, or they keep waiting for training. So there seems to be a bit of a bottleneck. And I know they are looking at some AI systems now that can actually do a lot of the simulation and training for a lot of the different things, like I don't know about aircraft, but they have air simulators. But I think this is more or less working on a destroyer or something like that. So yeah, there's some interesting things that they're looking at, but I definitely think they need to get that going. How are you with spending out of Canada? How am I with spending out of Canada? I look at it this way. I prefer to spend inside of Canada, but here's the thing. If I want to buy, let's say I want to buy a widget, and if the best price I can get for the widget in Canada is $10, and I need a lot of them, but I can get that same widget for $5 in the United States, and considering I need a lot of them, economically it would still make sense in that case to buy the US ones. So, and you have to be, I think you have to be realistically when it comes to buy Canadian. There has to be a bit of realistic expectations. Like, yeah, I don't mind paying a little more for Canadian, but I don't want to pay a lot more. And sure, you could argue that, well, if everybody in Canada would just buy Canadian, the Canadian prices could come down a little bit. Maybe a little, but you got to look at the population. We've got a very small population compared to the United States. So we're never going to really truly be able to price match the United States. So, and here's the thing, and I will tell you this right now. If you are struggling and, it's, and you can get something cheaper in the U.S. than you can in Canada, especially necessities, I will never fault you for it. I will never fault you for it, because you gotta do today what needs to be done. All right, and here, my QQQ, and guys, let me point out. So with the format change on the weekend, where I'm doing the monologue first before we get into the show, That means those QQQs, definitely drop them, because if you guys are talking like crazy when I'm doing the monologue, I'll probably have to skip over some stuff, but I will not skip over the QQQs. But now make them for questions. Don't if you got a comment, guys, like you just want to say, "Oh, I totally agree." I don't put that in a QQQ. I'll still try. I will still try. Let's see here. Oh, wait a minute. I didn't read the QQQ. Let's go back to the QQ. That would have been funny if I had completely skipped Claude's question. All right, so let's see. I have VCE, VFV, and VDY instead of buying XEQT. What do you think about just adding VUN, VIU, and VEE instead? Yeah, I mean, you could buy, like, a lot of these, like, when you look at XEQT, XEQT is simply holding a bunch of ETFs underneath. Yeah, you could certainly, like, if you already, let's go this way. If you already have, like, let's say, really good Canadian diversification, and you've got really good U.S. diversification, sort of like what we were hearing from, oh my God. Who was it? Somebody, oh no. All right, it was somebody was mentioning to that, it was a girl. That's all I can remember. Anyway, if you were in that situation, yeah, you wouldn't want to go and then get XEQT. You might just want to get the emerging markets part. So that's just, there's many ways that you can certainly do it. So yeah, there's nothing wrong with breaking it down into the core ETFs, especially if you want better control over what you're putting into your portfolio, for sure. Emoji check, it's a green heart. That one works. I hit that bell. How far behind am I? Oh my God. I'm 17 minutes behind. I'm going to try to get caught up here, guys. So I hope you've been using the QQQs. Lisa says, anyone been buying Metro on the dip? I added a bit today. Continue to watch it closely. I didn't get Metro on the dip, but I did get Empire on the dip. I have a swing trade actually on Empire going, and channel members are aware of it because I sent that out. A scratch is in the house. I bet $5 that Candace will nail the bell today. I did. Awesome. I don't know who you bet with, but they should pay you up. Pay you up in full. All right. Don't miss the bell. All right. Another postal strike. WTF. I know. And this is a surprise postal strike. Thank you for bringing that up, Kim, because I will tell you, a lot of times I'll put a news story in the title, and then I forget to talk about it. Oh, God. So, yeah. So the government started this. Yeah, kind of how things go. So the government came out yesterday. Was it yesterday? Yeah, it was yesterday. And they basically said, well, you got to stop telling Canada Post. You got to stop home delivery. So they told Canada Post they have to stop home delivery, and they talked about how they could set it up that, people who have special needs or maybe elderly, if they really absolutely can prove they need home delivery, there might be exceptions. So they did put this thing in, but they basically put this whole bunch of different rules about no more home delivery and, basically all of those sort of community mailbox areas type thing. And, well, Canada Post, the Canada Post Union, they looked at that and they said, no effing way. They went on strike immediately. Well, actually 4 hours after it was announced. So bang, boom, strike. And you might be thinking, wait a minute. How can that be legal? What about the 72-hour thing? Well, they already gave their 72-hour thing long ago. And currently they have been doing mini strike-like activity, like not delivering flyers. And that counts. So they were legally allowed to do what they did. And they went instantly into strike, and we got a strike. And I have a feeling it's not going to end soon. I have a feeling it could be drawn out a little bit. Roku says, weekend plans, packing for Italy. Oh, nice. Oh, have a fantastic weekend in Italy. Oh, boy. That sounds like a fun trip. Why videos? That was an energetic bell. Yeah, because I wasn't hiding behind the bell because I missed the right time. It was like, let's do it. Let's do it. That's a good idea. Not sure what it is. I don't know what was a good idea, Jackie. Like I said, I'm far behind. I'm far behind. But what can I say? Actas says, don't forget to give a thumbs up. Yeah, guys, absolutely. Hit the button. Hit the thumb. The thumb. I'm gonna have some coffee while you guys do that. Oh God, that is so good. Rory says Air Canada not in yet, looking at $15. Yeah. I mean, I'm happy. I'm still okay with where I get in on my swing trade, and it might be a very long trade, but they've certainly been dropping for sure. All right, Mark is in the house. So happy weekend. Here we go. Here we go. I mentioned this about JJ, well, around 4 o'clock. So JJ replied, but I'm that far behind. So dropping in, I'm working on the intro video. Awesome. I cannot wait. I cannot wait. All right. Doorpat had a wonderful conversation and pictures with the plain bagel. Nice. Richard and Ben Felix. Adrian got a picture with Ben as well. Nice, nice, nice. Let's see. P.S. Adrian and Ben are not fighting over cover calls. They promised. Oh, that's good to know. That's funny. Let's see. With 500 to invest, would you put it in LMT or BHP? That's a good question. That's a good question. Let's take a look. LMT, is that Lumine? Let me pull that up here. No, that's Lockheed Martin. Okay, Lockheed Martin. That's what I needed to know. I do like Lockheed Martin. And the other one, BHP. I believe that's Brookfield. I believe that is Brookfield. Oh no, it's not. It's not. It's BHP Group, New York. Okay, there we go. Okay. That's a good question. Honestly, I would need to do a little more research on it, each bin, because I'll tell you. I mean, I do like Lockheed Martin, but I don't know a lot about BHP. So I can't give you an answer today, but I would want to look a little bit deeper into both of these companies for sure. All right, and here we go. Let's and guys, I am gonna start jumping. I'm gonna start jumping. I promise. Cowboy says, picked up some Biggie and Canny. They are down, but they are real fresh. So see what happens. The dividend is quite good. All right. Yeah, absolutely. And those, of course, being the two new Evolve. Gotta love it. Gotta love it. All right. All right. We'll jump ahead here. Let's see. BlackBerry major internal control issues, Nortel style. I'm still very bullish. I'm still very bullish on them. I don't think we have to worry too much about them. All right. And let's see here. Danielle says, are you waiting for a certain price to buy Mary? What is your plan? For me, I think it's just a dollar cost average. So if you have an asset and and you're very bullish on it on the long term and you're looking to hold it for the long term, dollar cost averaging is your best way to go. It really is. Because if I wait for a dip, that dip might come. But who's to say that dip isn't going to be higher than where they're at today? So I do like the dollar cost average. If I'm bullish, yeah, I'll dollar cost average. I don't care what the price is. I'll just buy it regularly. All right. And Scratch says, have you ever looked at the company Guru, which is an energy drink with plant-based ingredients? This is a small cap, but it seems like a great buy in the range for the long term. I've never heard of them. Let's take a look. Guru, I like the name. I'm surprised nobody's nabbed that before this. Here we go. Guru Organic Energy Corporation. All right. See, my energy drink of choice is coffee, but it's a huge business, and I can see why people might be interested in a vegetable-based one, and that to me, yeah, I can see there being a need for it. Now, I don't know how much information we're going to have here, to be honest. 461. Let me pull out the year. So yes, they've exploded recently. They've definitely exploded recently. Just pulling down here to see if there's anything in here. Yeah, this is why. Here we go. On September 11th, well, this kind of happened before they exploded, but I think it built into it. They had record Q3 2025 results. That's good to see. It's good to see that they are having a record time. Absolutely. I like that. Now, I'm going to take a look at their back end. I'm kind of curious. Kind of curious. Now, where they're new, I'm not expecting a lot. And yeah, here's kind of what I see good and bad. Actually, I'm going to call it good. I'll call it good. Scratch, I'll call it good. They have very little debt. 3% debt to equity ratio. That's fantastic because a lot of times newer companies take out a lot of debt to get themselves going. Now, they're not profitable yet. Now, minus 9.44. And that would, in this case here, that would include that September 11th earnings. So I don't know what it was before then. And this might be a huge improvement over what it was like even in August. So, it's not out of reach. I think they're moving in the right direction. I wouldn't go heavy into them, but I think this would definitely be a one that would be good for play money for sure. All right. Jordan says, good afternoon, Candace. Hope you're doing well as chat. The model jet business is proving lucrative, more so than the glass. Interesting. Now, let me ask you this, Jordan. I know with the glass, with Canada Post going down again, that was an issue for you last time. I imagine it is now, but is it as much of an issue with the model jets, or are you able to get are you reasonably able to, now I'm assuming you're selling model jets? I'm not 100% sure what a model jet business is. I just assume you're selling model jets, perhaps. But is the strike having the same impact on that business? I'm curious to know. All right. Bismarcky says, happy Friday, everybody. All right. And I am jumping over stuff, guys. And we're going to we'll jump all the way down to here because we got a super chat. We got a super chat coming in from Scratch. And it's, since I typed in my bet pretty much when you ring the bell, I'll just send the money for everyone to know I wasn't cheating. Great job, Candace. Ooh, we need more betting. We need more betting. But, guys, that does mean that, Scratch is a goat. Welcome to goathood. Welcome to goathood, Scratch. You're the greatest of all time, which is where the word goat comes from. Awesome. Oh, that actually caught me right up. So I can actually go backwards. JJ says Ben Felix is a giant. He's like 6'10". Wow. I would never guess that he was 6'10". So he dwarfs everyone. So basically, if you're in a crowd and you've got Ben Felix with you, you just use him as a landmark. It's like, yeah, it's north of Ben Felix or south of Ben Felix, or, or you could use clocks. Wow, that's kind of interesting. I love it. All right. Jordan says, yes, I am selling model jets. Right now, most of them are being sold local at events and on Facebook Marketplace. I've only had to ship one so far, so not really interfering with the business yet. Okay, fair enough. That's kind of cool. Now, where are you sourcing the? I don't know if you can answer this because maybe it's a business secret. But where are you sourcing the jets from? So that's always something I'm kind of curious. And let me ask you. I guess you are actually holding the inventory as well, because I know some people will, like with drop shipping, some people will have an outside source that they can then source things in and ship it through, whether it be Shopify or Amazon or something. But that's kind of cool. I can't say I've ever built a model jet, so now I can't make the same claim with Lego. I've made lots of things that fly with Lego. So, and let's see. George says, yeah, they are sourced directly from the factory plant in China. Okay, so then so are they shipping it from that China plant to your customer? That's what kind of where I'm thinking because that's a beautiful thing. That's a beautiful thing if you're doing it. One example, there was a guy years ago. He found this weird map thing on, I don't know, it was on one of the China sites. And they were selling it for a couple of bucks, and it was kind of I can't remember exactly what the heck this thing was, but it was really neat. I remember that. But he basically went and bought a ton of them. Now, instead of sourcing from there directly to the customer, he bought a ton of them, and then he set up a shop on Amazon, and he was selling these things he was sourcing for $2 a piece for like $20. So, and they were selling really well. They were like, it was kind of a gift thing. If somebody likes maps, they would have liked this. And I'm trying to remember exactly what the heck that thing was. I can't remember. I just know that I thought, gosh, I wouldn't mind having one of those. Jordan says they are shipping to me first, then I box them up, label them, and resell. They come in cellophane bags. Okay, fair enough. And that's a good point, Jordan, because yeah, if you want to put your own branding on it, you kind of have to sort of ship them to you, rebrand them, and ship them out. Yeah, that makes sense. That does make sense, and hopefully you're making a good profit on them, Jordan. That's what I hope. Then you can stack up some more of your silver, because I know. Well, it should be big screen. I know Jordan is a fan of the silver for sure. Rory says, Jordan is competing with Air Canada for real. Ha ha ha. All right. Oh, there was another announcement I have. So normally, the Member's Choice video is the last video of each month. However, that last video is on Tuesday. And this month kind of got away from me. I'm going to admit, it got away from me. I got so wrapped up in that, in the Windfall series, and I have, basically it's four episodes. So there's the first three, and then there's the wrap-up episode. And I wanted to do them week after week after week, not realizing I was hitting that. So that's fine. So the Member's Choice video for September, it's going to be the first video in October. And then we'll do the one immediately after that will be the 0 to 100K. So those will be the next two videos after the wrap-up video, which will come out on on Tuesday. Monday, if you're a channel member, you can watch it a day early. So I will, probably later today, I'm going to ask you guys for what you want for that video, because everybody gets to give me their ideas, and then I take the 4 best ideas back to the channel members, and then they vote. They get to determine which one I'm going to make. So I'm looking forward to that. Actually, interesting thing. So this whole Windfall series that I just did, that's actually came out of the channel members. They wanted that. One of the channel members came up with the idea. It got put into the vote. It didn't win the vote. I think it came in second. But I love the idea so much that it became a series. So anyway, that's kind of just to give you guys a general idea of what's going on. So I will, as soon as the stream is over, I will put up, I'll put up a post right away. So just come in, give me your ideas. If there's a deep dive you're looking for, or there's a particular type of list video, or maybe you want me to do a tutorial on something. I don't know, whatever you guys want, get it in there. And if I get more than 5 entries, guys, I will go by the thumbs up on them. So if you go in there and you put in your idea, but you see one there that you already like, thumbs it up. And, that way there, it makes it easier for me to choose if there's more than 4, because I can only do a 4 poll. If there's more than 4, that way there, I can grab the 4 that have the most thumbs up on them. All right, Jordan says, $10 to $15 profit per unit. Well, that's not too shabby. Depending on, of course, how many you're selling. How are you selling them, Jordan? Like, are you on Amazon? Are you using Amazon? I'm assuming that might be probably, because that seems to me the easiest way to sell something, perhaps. And then Amazon kicks the order over to you. You ship it out. Let's see. A unit sells for $20. So there you go. That's not too shabby at all. Brian says, interesting, BK.to did a stock split 1-to-1 for 1.1 for 1 yesterday. It closed at $13.65. It finished at $14.28, up 63 cents. Usually it dilutes the stock. It doesn't go up. A free 56.9 shares today. Yeah, that's not too bad, Brian. That is not too bad. Too bad. Rory says, a good deal so far. BMO raises the S&P 500 year-end 2025 price target to 7,000. VFV to the moon. Yeah, I think so. Yeah, I think the rest of the year is probably going to be green. I mean, we will eventually have to pay the piper. With everything that's going on in the economy and tariffs, and now you've got a possible shutdown coming to the United States, and it looks like Trump wants it. It looks like he wants it so he can clean house a little bit, but we'll see. We're going to see how this all ends up going. I don't know. I don't know. Paul says apparently Tesla closed the highest weekly close ever. There was a week last year that started higher but turned red and closed lower on weekly. Nice. Well, it's funny, when Tesla was down, I almost made a swing trade, an opening swing trade, but nope, it just didn't. It didn't happen. Oh, excuse me. Jordan says, simply word of mouth right now, with Chris Hatfield being from our town, the Jets, which are military fighters and flankers, are a hot sell. Once things cool down here, I will spread to online sales. Yeah, I would take it. I would. Here's the thing though. I would capitalize on it sooner than later, because sometimes you'll get a hot run and you don't know how long it's going to go. So I'm thinking. All right, and here's Cowboy doing the smart thing, using those QQQs. Thinking of going all monthly income in my TFSA, move all quarterly to non-registered account. Your thoughts? Nothing wrong with that. I look at it this way. Eventually in retirement. So once you get to retirement, if you're looking for income, you're probably going to have your TFSA looking at all monthly income payers, like covered calls and such, in your TFSA, generating a nice monthly income that's not going to affect any of your supports that you get in retirement, of course. So yeah, that's not a bad idea. And then moving your quarterly to non-registered, yeah. And keep in mind, and here's that thing, your quarterly, they tend to be smaller dividends. They also, they might be a little larger than an individual monthly one, but overall, they tend to be smaller yields, and they often tend to be less tax complicated as well. So that's not a bad thing. Bismarck, he says, I hear Tesla phones are coming out. I've heard that rumor back in 2020. There was going to be a Tesla phone, and there was mock-ups online, and it all turned to be just a rumor. So is this going to be real this time? I don't know. I really don't know. I would need to see something. I would need to see something official that it's going to happen. So just double check the sources on that, because it might be that same rumor starting to come around again. Like, apparently these Tesla phones back in 2020, you were going to be able to charge them with your car, something weird. There was a whole bunch of weirdness about it. They looked fantastic. I know when I read them in 2020, I was like, oh, I've never been tempted to leave the iPhone until now. But they turned out to be smoke and mirrors. There was nothing there. And Paul says, I got confused with closed P&L taking the dollar amount dividend by number of shares. Think, why isn't the near the share price, but figured out it was the amount of dollar profit share. Okay, fair enough. Oh, this is good. Okay, Jordan says, to be honest, I'm having a lot of apprehension about moving to online sales until Canada Post gets their act together and things are worked out. Private couriers, though fast and reliable, are just too expensive to pass to the customer. Yeah, okay, fair enough. What I was thinking, though, and you can look into this. I may not know a lot about drop shipping, but my understanding is you can even get a situation with Amazon where they will put your, where you basically, I don't know if you can get to a point now. I'm trying to think if there was any way that we could take that middle work that you're doing out of it. So move it from, for example, your China sourcing company to Amazon and have them put it in your boxing. I would look into it. Something makes me think that they might do that, or they might offer that, but would that eat into your profit? I'm not sure, but I'm just thinking. I'm just saying it's something that it's probably worth looking into. Unless you're happy. If you're very happy with what you're making right now doing it, but you got to remember, in a local market, once everybody has the jet, who are you going to sell to? That's one of those things that, a bigger audience is sometimes not a bad thing to do. Or, holy banana bread, here's another thought, Jordan. Why not promote them online? Like, why not start a YouTube channel or something like that? You're no stranger. I mean, you've been on a Ken's show more times than I can shake a lamb at. But you could do, like, even if you did a thing, and you wouldn't even have to do a lot of shows. You could do like a monthly. Once a month, you could go on and talk about model airplanes, and then you could sell it through YouTube, so people could still buy it, and you would still ship it from your end. But it might be a way to get more. Anyway, I'm getting way too involved. Here. Jordan says, hey, it's worth a look, definitely. I mean, the move is coming regardless. Like you said, the local market will dry up. Yeah, absolutely. Rory says, Star Trek transporters would be the end of mail and transportation. Also the end of your life. And now somebody might have stuck up and said, what? What are you talking about? So there's a big issue with teleportation. And there's a big argument about it as well amongst the physics community. So what happens? So with a transporter, what they're doing is they're basically disintegrating you, but they're recording where every single molecule was so they could recreate it on the other end. They're not actually transferring those molecules. Those molecules are gone. Everything that was you is now gone, but they're recreating you on the other end. They've sent the pattern, and they're recreating you with new molecules. So is that really you? That's the question. It may think it's you. It may have your memories. And for all intents and purposes, everybody will think it's you, and it is you, but is it really you? Have you just died and somebody else is now you? That's kind of that thing. So I would be very hesitant about transporter technology. Now, what I would like to see, now here's a workaround for transporter technology, is if we could do wormholes. Now, when they were making Star Trek, so the original Star Trek, the reason they came up with the transporter was that it was a cheap way to get everybody to the planet without having to, have a ship to take them down and all of that. So it was basically a cost-effective thing. Now, what you could have instead, and this would not kill you, is if you're able to create basically a little wormhole between, point A and point B, so that way they're just sort of, it's just a little tear in space that you can just walk through. That wouldn't kill you. Well, I mean, yeah, if we don't know how to do it, it probably would. But anyway, it's just a little thing to think about. So I would not use a teleporter. I prefer being alive, even though the new me might think it's me. It's really not. All right. Okay. Let's see. Oh, it will need oil. Local versus US, HHIS versus HHIC. What is your crystal ball? All right. Honestly, guys, I like them both. My crystal ball would be, why only have one? Why not have two? And, and here's the thing. You could, it doesn't have to be a 50-50 split. Obviously, the US market is bigger than Canada. And if if you want that more exposure to the US, you could have like a 60-40, 60 HHIS, 40% HHIC. Now, I will point out, HHIC does have better diversification than HHIS. Something to keep in mind. Because HHIS, very, very tech heavy. Now, there's a couple. Yeah, you got like Eli Lilly, which is, technically healthcare. But for the most part, now with HHIC, you have a broader. You've got banks, you've got uranium, you've got a little bit of everything, really. And that's good diversification. So I like HHIC. When it comes to diversification, I would pick HHIC. But I think a good portfolio, good income portfolio should probably have both. I think they're both really, really good. All right, so there we go. I don't know if that's the answer you're looking for, K45 Lim, but we try. A cowboy, teleport in politics equal tell a lie. Yeah, maybe. Um, Rory says, if you can imagine it, you can build it. Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. I mean, I think we can build teleporters. I just don't think. I just don't. I think right now, if unless we can find a way, at least we can find a way to. And I hate to say this, actually transfer the essence of you, and then you are limited by the speed of light anyway. But yeah, if we could find a way to do it, maybe they could be safe. But I'll tell you, I don't think I will ever trust them. I don't think I would ever trust a teleporter. Give me a wormhole every day. I will take a wormhole over a teleporter. You name it. Live videos, metaphysics on mountain finance. It happens. It's in the land of tangents. You don't know where we're going. We don't know where we're going. Um, and it's easy to send me on a tangent because I love talking about pretty much everything. So what can I say? Starting to sound like Field of Dreams. If you built it, they will come. Yep. That's a good movie. It's a good movie. And speaking of baseball, are you guys excited about the Blue Jays? It's they're they're I guess they're Canada's team, but they're our only team. But they've clinched the playoffs. Fantastic. But will they hold on to the division? I don't know. I think they slipped. I think they might. I think I heard on the news they slipped. But are they going all the way, guys? What do you think? Let me know. I'm Brian. Do you know anything about DME, Desert Mountain Energy? I know nothing about DME, but let's take a look. DME. Let's see here. DME, Desert Mountain Energy. Here we are. Yeah, very, very, very small. It's penny stock, which is why I know nothing about them. What are they looking at here? Let's see here. The forward-looking resource company, exploration, helium and rare earth gas. Okay, all right. And helium is rare, guys. So there's only so much helium on the Earth, and we are due to run out of helium eventually. That's just a fact. That is a fact. One of the things, so as you guys probably know, in February, I believe it's February, we're doing an orbit around the moon, and we got a Canadian on that flight. But one of the things that they're interested in mining from the moon actually is helium. It's actually a rare form of helium. I think it's helium-3. So that's kind of interesting. But all right, so I think this is a profitable. They're in a profitable space. Now they are up today, as you mentioned here. 5.882%. Yeah, fantastic. They went from being a little penny stock to being a slightly, but still little penny stock. So they're still a penny stock. So I automatically be careful. Don't put a lot of money into them. But let's take a look behind the back end. Maybe there's a surprise waiting for us. No surprise, but it looks like they don't have any debt. That's fantastic. There's a plus for them. Their return on equity, it is in the negative 7.58. That's not unusual in a penny stock, I will say. Will this grow into a big stock? This I don't know, but I think they're worth watching. And if you want to put some play money into it, sure, maybe you'll make something with it. But I would be careful. That would be my final line on this one is just be careful with it. K55 Lim. Yes, I think you read my mind. Thanks, Candace. You're welcome. Some assembly required. All right. Hello, Candace. Both Extendicare and Chartwell bounced nicely today. Nice. Oh, let's see here. Of course, I love both of these. So these here are long-term care homes. Long-term care homes. But yeah, look at this here. Nice jump today, 4.927%, which is nice to see. because as you can see, people were concerned because of this. Like, they've been doing fantastic, and then they have a little bit of a correction, and people were like, I think their run is over. And I was saying, no, no, no. This is a business that's only going to get better. And they're still doing good. And they're still doing good. Yeah, this is fantastic. Like, this is a new all-time high for them. So, absolutely. And I have them. I have them in the 0 to 100K challenge for a reason. And this is it. This is it. I think they're going to be a fantastic stock long-term. Brian, it's a penny stock now. It was almost $5 a while ago. Oh, was it? Oh, you see, let's go. Let's zoom out then. I did not zoom out. All right, let's take a look here. Let's get back to their overview. Let's go 10 years out. Oh, look at this. Yeah, almost $5 back here early in the pandemic. But why? This would be the interesting thing to sort of say, because it's kind of interesting too. You remember how we were looking earlier at BlackBerry? And how sometimes you have these big news things that will drive you up. And, well, this is much longer than a typical news cycle, but typically you want to see on the other side at least a little bit of improvement. Here, not a lot. Not a lot on this side, not a lot on that side. So, once again, I'd still be careful. I don't know why this happened. Now, obviously, this did happen in the pandemic, so I don't know if people were just excited about helium during the pandemic, but I would definitely would need to dig in deeper for that. But yeah, absolutely. Let's see here. Cedar fillings are your friend. And why videos for a third crypto investment after Bitcoin and Ethereum? Would you prefer Solana or XRP? Oh boy. Why don't you say a fourth? If it were fourth, yeah, all of them. Gosh, I love Solana, and I love both of them for two completely different reasons. But I think long term, if you're looking at it on a long term scale, XRP will probably edge out Solana. But I think they're both fantastic. But yeah, I really like XRP for a long term. All right. Any thoughts on Hemisphere Energy? Not really, but let's take a look. Hemisphere. No, that's all right. HEMIPH. Oh, let's see. SPHERE. Hemisphere Energy. Here we are. HME. So Hemisphere Energy Corporation. What are they doing here? Let's take a look here. All right. So they're Canadian oil. I like that. I like that part right away. Sustainable growth. Low decline in conventional heavy oil assets through water and polymorph flood enhanced recovery methods. Okay. All right. So let's see. Specialized in development of conventional oil pools. All right. Okay. Yeah, they've got some interesting technology going on here. Fantastic. Nothing wrong with that. They have a nice dividend. Now, they're not a penny stock per se, but they're penny adjacent. But they have been penny adjacent for a while. So this is looking a little bit more stable. I like the movement that we've seen since pretty much, well, let's see, Liberation Day was down here. So since Liberation Day, they've been on the rise for sure. So nothing wrong with that. Now, I want to take a look at their back end here. Let's pull this up and see what we got. Oh boy! Now we're talking. Michael, now we're talking. Look at this. Return on equity, 42.32%. Holy banana bread. That I like. I love that a lot. Their debt to equity ratio, 4%. 4% debt to equity ratio. This is not bad. And on top of that, they're dropping out a dividend with what was a yield around 4% or so. 4.651%. So not too shabby. Yeah, this one's for real. HME. So obviously still do some some deeper digging. There we go, deeper digging. Do some deeper digging on this one, but I like what I see. I like the surface data. So it would be enough to make me look a little bit deeper. So HME, not too shabby. All right. Let's see. Thank you. And Gene says, do you think it's time to buy Dollarama and Loblaws? Thank you. So yeah, I'm bullish on both of these. Absolutely. Loblaws is Let's pull up Loblaws first. So Loblaw just had a 4-to-1 stock split, and there's been a little bit of a retracement in the sector. So I don't blame Loblaws, or Loblaw, for this little movement to the downside. And this is a little movement considering how much they've exploded. So yeah, the whole sector is doing this. So it's not just Loblaw in particular. So I think right now, 53.46, yeah, I think that's a good price to get in on Loblaw. I like that price as a lot. Now, Dollarama, so let's pull up Dollarama. Dollarama, boy, they really need a split. I want to see a split on Dollarama. And once again, Dollarama is part of that the consumer staples sector, just like Loblaws. And you can see they're doing the exact same thing. So yeah, is this a good time? If you like Dollarama, yes, it is. I think they'll be back up. I can easily see Dollarama getting up to 200. Probably not by the end of this year. I would say within 2026. But yeah, and keep in mind, Dollarama they had just purchased a chain in Australia that they are. Now the chain was struggling, but they're bringing their Dollarama sense to the chain. Like they know how to run a chain, and they're going to turn it around. And I think that's going to be huge for Dollarama. So yeah, I like both. I do like both. All right, let's come back in. Larry is in the house. We were talking about Larry earlier. Let's see. I picked up a ton of Bay RY, then announced their lawsuits from a Monsanto's Roundup that allegedly causes cancer will be over in 2026. Okay, fair enough. And that's the thing. Sometimes, guys, watching the news can give you some really good clues into what some of our favorite companies might be about to do. Yesterday says, don't hate on penny stocks. Remember when I asked you to check Borealis Mining? Up 52% this year. Yeah. Oh, no, absolutely. No, I liked Borealis Mining. But yeah. So, guys, we used to do this thing. But, it lost popularity. It worked. It was a 2024 thing. Where the first Sunday you guys had the opportunity to buy buy a super, like a $20 super would get you a deep dive on any company you wanted. I had to put rules in after yesterday came in. Yesterday came in and gave me a brand new company. It was a penny stock and it had no history. So I was pretty much lost on that one. I did my best I could with no data, but I did like the company. Overall, I did like them. I thought that there was some potential there. And look at this. Up 52%. That's fantastic. I love it. And guys, let me be clear on the penny stocks. When I say I don't like them, it's like I don't like to take the chance. Are some penny stocks fantastic? 1,000,000,000% yes. Some penny stocks are going to turn into the big stocks we talk about tomorrow. The problem is, which ones? And if you're going in there and you're not doing your research and you're just betting on penny stocks, you're probably going to lose. But if you are doing your research, obviously, as yesterday had been researching into Borealis Mining, then you're hedging the bet in your favor. It's not a guarantee then, even still. But, the only reason it's not is because a lot of times the penny stocks, they don't have that moat that the big stocks have to weather, things when the economy goes horribly wrong. So sometimes for that reason, penny stocks get a little bit risky. But here's that thing. Like I said, some of them will be highly successful. And that's why I always say they're good things for your play money. You don't want to go big time into one, because if you go big time into one and it's that one that does fail, oh boy, that's a lot of money gone. But no, I don't hate penny stocks. I just don't like to invest in them. I don't like to take that chance. The best words is to say they're outside of my risk profile. Larry says over 25% of the portfolio is Bayer now. Oh boy. Enilo. I think I'm saying this right. Enilo? I hope I'm saying it right. Hi Candace. How is all is well? All is well. It's a good day. It's a good day. Cowboy says, for me, Dollarama, too much on price, too little on dividend. Absolutely. And keep in mind, Dollarama is not a great stock if you're an income investor. I will put that out there right away. Even Shopify. Shopify is not a good stock for an income investor. However, Shopify is volatile, and the enhanced covered call version, that's a different story, right? I don't know how. I don't know what the dividend is. I think there's an enhanced Dollarama one out there too, but I don't know what the dividend is on that. Rory says the market this year has been the wheel of fortune with no blank bankrupt signs so far. So far, but I've got a feeling those bankrupt signs they're just waiting to get added to the board. But so far, so good. So far, so good, guys. Amazon's 2.5 billion fine for misleading users to sign up was lower than I expected. Yeah, and that's kind of a drop in the bucket. And, but here's the thing. When you look at some of the dubious stuff that's going on in the States, misleading users to sign up it doesn't even rank. But yeah, I can understand that. Let's see. Any idea? PDIV. I have the stock for many years. I'd like to know your opinion on this. Thanks. Sure. Let's come over here to PDIV. I believe this is the Purpose dividend one, right? Let's see here. Yeah. Here we go. Purpose Enhanced Dividend Fund, PDIV. I'm going to pull this baby up. So yeah, in the last year, we haven't seen a lot of movement to the upside. But keep in mind, this here, I'm going to pull it down here. It is a high dividend yield. It is designed for income, and you're getting your 12.258%. So this one is not really designed for growth. Will you get growth over time? Maybe. I mean, look, if we go out to 5 years, perhaps not. I was going to say, let's go to 10 years. So yeah, no, this one has not. We're not. All right, looking at this, and this is, guys, this is a lesson. Always zoom out. Always zoom out. Because it gives you a bigger picture. And in this case here, yeah. I mean, they had this one big moment here after the pandemic. And you can see here, here's that March 20th pandemic drop. Yeah, but almost everybody did this. And why? Well, because a lot of the governments around the world and in Canada were handing out free money. Where was that free money going? Let's see, you're locked in your house. You got nothing to buy it on. You can spend some on Amazon, but, after a while, it's like, I got to do something else. Oh, what's this investing thing? Let's put some money in the stock market. So, yeah, that absolutely does that. And that's kind of that whole thing. But, yeah, so PDIV, it's about the income. That's what you're going to be there for. Is it the best? No. I think there's better ones out there now. But, I mean, if you like it, it's going to keep that income up. And right now, at least, it seems to be moving sideways, but this is not one that I have a lot of faith in when it comes to total return, because I like a good total return. But this one here, if you're looking for that steady income, sure, it's going to keep doing it, but you might lose a tiny bit of value over time when it comes to your share value. So, that's the truth about PDIV. What I would almost say is if you want, let me contrast that to something else. Let's go to HDIV, for example. So this here is the Hamilton Canadian Covered Call ETF. And this is what I love to see in an ETF. So, when you look at the last year on this, you can see, you get that flat period, and that's fine, but you are getting some, like, ever since Liberation Day, we've been getting a nice move to the upside. We can't really go that far back. We can go back a little bit here, 3 years. But, basically, you had a little bit of excitement when it first came out. Flat during the bear market. And, yeah, it's been doing okay. It's been doing okay. So that's the type of thing I look for in a, when I'm looking at a dividend fund. So PDIV, yeah, you'll get your dividends, but you're probably not going to see a lot of growth on that one. Oops. Guys, I did the whole thing with it down. I did not realize it was down. Holy banana bread. I can't believe I did that again. All right. So this here is HDIV, the one I like. And you can see that movement. All right, let's go back to PDIV. Here we go. Here is PDIV, and let's pull out to its 10 years. And this is what I was talking about. It's typically been moving down other than this big spike after the pandemic. Sorry, guys. I am so sorry. I thought that was up. Oh, my gosh. We need This is what YouTube needs. There needs to be a button that some of you guys that I can give to some of the key people. I won't give it to everybody. That you could hit that starts making my screen flash on and off, so that I can get a clue. I can get a cue that because I was just so wrapped up in the chat. Oh boy! All right, guys. I probably should just leave it up. I probably should just leave it up at this point. All right, I got it. I got it. Rory says, I get Dollarama in an ETF. That's about it. Yeah, absolutely. Candace, could you do a video on USA any value ETFs for your US accounts? Maybe you did one already and I missed it. So, yeah, I'm looking. I don't know if I have one planned for value, but I have had some requests to do one of the windfalls on US stocks. So that's going to come somewheres down the road. I'm probably going to do, I don't want to just do windfall over and over again. So, we did this 3 and we got the update video on all of it coming out on this Tuesday. So I probably will take a break from windfalls for a while, but I do want to do some America stuff. But I do want to mention too, guys, whenever I dabble into US stocks, US ETFs or US lists, nobody watches it. But, we'll see. Maybe things have changed now because, heck, we've got a lot more. Like, we got a lot more people watching the channel now than we did back when I did the last one. So we'll take a look. I think right now the ones are, like, I think now when I do growth stuff, I start to get small viewership. I've been really growing the income viewers for sure. So, and that's what I do. I try to cater not to the income people, but I do, if 80% of you are income, then 80% of my videos should be income. I look at it that way. Anyway, Cowboy says, dollar stores are usually cheap stuff from China. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. JJ says, between PDIV and HDIV is definitely better. Total return wise, Hamilton has a better long-term track record for sure. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Over purpose, and plus a lower management fee too. Yeah, exactly. All right, guys. If you got your last minute questions, get them on in here. We're almost ready to wind down here, but keep it going. If you got them questions, I'll have some coffee. If not, we'll get into the end shmiggeriggaroo. There we go. We'll get into the end shmiggeriggaroo. There's a new word. I just invented it. Anytime you guys use it, send me a quarter, please. I don't think you can copyright words, but, I can try. So good. I like that. Whew. All right. Ooh. Yeah. So, JJ, when is your video going to be? When is that video going to be done? That's what I want. Is it filmed? Are you just in the editing, or are you still scripting it? I'm just kind of curious to know where you're at in that process. Because, yeah, I will tell you. Oh, my God, guys. So the video today, the Constellation software video, yesterday morning I got everything all set up, got it ready. I filmed the whole thing. Hit the editor and the sound was choppy as all banana bread. It was bad. Then I realized, oh yeah, I have my audio set to, because it's weird. So if I have echo, I have to have echo cancellation on when I'm recording a video. But if I'm going live, apparently I need to have echo cancellation off. And it just, the two of them, I don't know what's different, but what can we say? Roy says, waiting for the Monday sell-off. Oh, interesting. Interesting. Is there anything significant going on Monday? Other than we are coming to the end of the month, and sometimes you will have options expiring. But usually the big options, I think the big options expired last Friday, so I think we're good. All right. Monday sell-off, what do you know that we don't? Let's see. ETF. Got the best 10 according to you. All right. Yeah, absolutely. But, keep in mind, and Elio, when I give you a list, you still want to do your due diligence. Don't just, don't just blindly take my word for it. Because it's your money, right? How long did it take you to earn that money? Keep that in mind. You always want to take extra caution with your money. So always do your due diligence for sure. That's why we got that little thing at the end of every video for that reason. Let's see. Script done for the intro video in the midst of filming. Okay. Now keep in mind, JJ, I'll tell you one thing. You don't want to get too fancy with your intro video. Like quite literally, just you sitting there being very, I don't know, candid. Like you don't want to go overly, like you don't need B-roll. You don't need, and it should be short. It really should be short. Like quite literally, your intro video, maybe 3 minutes. I wouldn't go more than 3 minutes. Excuse me. All right, and you're still tweaking the audio. Okay, fair enough. All right, guys. So we will be back here on Sunday. We got this week coming up, and keep in mind, there's that little bit of a format change on it, so it's gonna be interesting. We will do. So those of you who were not here at the beginning of the video, we will not be putting the news peppered throughout the show anymore. It's all being condensed into a monologue at the beginning of the show, and then after that, we can do whatever we want. Whatever you guys want me to do, we'll do. It'll be, well, within reason. I'm not going to skydive, as I don't know if Jonathan's here, but that he's been talking about that for a long time. So what can I say? All right. And Scratch is in. Thanks a lot, Candace. Good weekend, everyone. And Roy says, we'll see. Have a good weekend. Absolutely. All right. That's a great one to end it on. Guys, have a fantastic weekend. I hope to see you guys on Sunday. Until then, have a good one. And